Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join today's Link Supply Chains Masterclass series and attend today's class, How to Make the Leap to E-Commerce Easy. Our continuing goal with our Masterclass series is to provide you with information that will help you create your best business advantage. Today's event is brought to you by Link Supply Chains. My name is Ken Waddell. I'm publisher of Parcel Media. I will be your moderator. Let's get things started here. Today's speakers are Lisa Dubbs and Wade Wickus. Lisa Dubbs is Vice President of Sales and Market Development for Link Supply Chains. Lisa has worked in many facets of the food supply chain during her career, from manufacturing to sales and training to marketing. Wade Wickus is CEO of Link Supply Chains with over 30 years of experience in supply chain in both public and private companies. Link Supply Chains helps companies take the leap to digitization with their products, product management, and their consulting team focused on simplifying supply chains with best-in-class solutions. So with that, let's get things started. Wade?
Great. Thank you very much, Ken. And thank you for Parcel Magazine for helping us with this. We really appreciate everybody joining us on this journey of how to make the leap to e-commerce easy. Let's start out by getting to our big idea. And that big idea is, as an organization and as a community in this space, in this business trends that we're in today, as we simplify e-commerce and digital transformation. Everybody's talking about digital transformation. Our idea is to offer one place where small to mid-sized companies can get into the digital e-commerce space quickly, easily, and within their business model. So what that means in a nutshell is we're going to help teach and train you a little bit about the insights of how to get to e-commerce and make that transformation, make that leap super simple. And we're going to start out by talking about our digital e-strategy. So that e-strategy is comprised of these different aspects: products, platform, integration, new workflows, customer experience, culture, and communication. First, we're going to talk about products. The most important part of the sales process is what you have to offer, what's your offering. And taking the time to make sure those descriptions are cleaned up, they're accurate, they're SEO searchable for today is super important, along with pictures and video. I know we've really migrated from reading things to learning through video. And that video interaction is really important as we tag items and we talk about products. The next important piece of your e-strategy is your platform. Deciding how you want to approach e-commerce, how your call to actions look to your customers. Are they simplified? Are they easy? Really want to have that shopping experience be a growth strategy to attract more customers and to attract more purchases, but in a way that makes sense to the customer experience. And also integration, making sure your systems of today integrate with your e-commerce system. So there's a lot of cash flow and things that need to work on the back end to make sure that that customer experience works on the front end. And Lisa and I are going to share this slide. So Lisa, you want to talk a little bit about new workflows?
Yeah, because I was just going to say, as they start to go through this process and we work with them like on a different strategy, it really makes a difference. Like the further they start to get into these multiple channels of distribution, like whether they're going to do business to distributor, business to seller, business to customer, all of them. How does it actually fit into your total picture is how we can help you align this strategy with your business. Wade talked a little bit about customer service, and I know we're going to continue to talk about that more. That is near and dear to my heart. A customer's shopping experience is actual how you sell your product. You could have the best product in the world, but if they don't have a good customer experience, it is huge that people are able to have a good experience, to be able to come out and look at that product, to see what it is, to be able to use that, which brings me to culture and communication. They talk about, does an e-strategy change your overall organization? And Wade, you can back me up on this. The answer is yes, it does. There's no two ways about it. when usually we start to talk to companies about how are they going to go through this process and their strategy, there's usually a committee that starts and then they go to the next, we take it to the next process. But how does that internal communication, how does that actually happen in your company? How does it go from that committee to the next group of people and to the next group of people into the different departments? Do you need training? We provide training for people. It's very important that people, as you make this transition, are comfortable with the workflow, are comfortable with the changes. It's really important to make sure that people are at a comfort level and that there's enough communication to know what's going on as you're changing. So this is how we start to walk through the digital strategy, and then it's a matter of let's go, let's take that next step.
Excellent. Yeah, and it's definitely decomposing this, from a large company to a small company. Having an strategy does not have to be complicated. It's actually a very simple process, and we encourage every business to look at their strategy.
So we talked about their strategy for what you do. So now let's actually talk about what happens when you start to go digital. I know we talked about product and cleanup and stuff like that, and product descriptions. Product descriptions are huge. We would do is take our information, take the information that you have, and just kind of give it an update. A better look, a fresher look. Product descriptions, when customers know what they're buying, it enhances the whole customer experience. Your marketing materials will make them clearer, will make them more inviting, like wow, I really want to go buy that product. Product videos and stuff, people don't read anymore. People like to see what they're going to get. They want to see it at all different angles, and they want to have a story. They want to have a story to tell about what that product's going to do for them, how it's going to help them. Our next, we talk about our digital assets and adding pictures and materials. I'm a firm believer that a picture says 1,000 words. You can do so many things. You can take your products with this when you have this digital asset, and we can show you how to maybe show different ways to use your product, give people different ideas what they're doing. To me, ideas equal more sales. So when people have ideas about what they can do with your stuff, ready to go. And, for us, give us a call. That's what we're here for. It's free. Let us talk to you about your strategy, what your plans are, what you want to do, and let us talk to you through the different levels and the different processes of what we can do to help you grow your business. Some people need more, some people need less, but that's actually what we're here for with our experience to help you move along quickly.
Thank you, Lisa. That's a great point about story. And the story relates to your platform and how you want that experience to be. And stories are so powerful today. There's so many great stories out there if you look at all the different e-commerce angles and strategies. So platform is a powerful tool that you can use. And there's so many varieties of platforms, both with a baked in payment all the way to fulfillment to customizable platforms. So wherever you are in the spectrum, maybe you want to upgrade your platform, maybe you're fine where you are, you're just trying to get into the market and get to a baked in platform, super easy to do. The other thing is growing sales. We came from the migration of relationship building, face-to-face interaction to now being on a computer and having that experience and that story kind of digested by us as we go through a process. So growing sales is a little bit different, but doesn't mean it's complicated. It's actually very easy once you understand it. The other thing is return on investment, easy wins. There's a lot of easy wins in the e-commerce platform right now, just because it's new, it's exciting, it's different, and it's very customizable very quickly. So that's really the scoop about our strategy. Now we're going to get into more about how that really dives into the product offering and the pictures and the videos and all that fun stuff. Lisa, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I do want to talk about the pictures because, again, to me, that's a big part of your customer experience. So when we start to talk about pictures, what we look at is, you have your typical, the slide on the left is your typical, what they call, it's a one picture shot. It's a hero format. It shows you, you can do it in different ways. It actually either just shows you the picture like straight on, like CPAC is showing their shrimp, and others are like the Oreos are just there. When you get to the the Lime Rita, they're actually pulling the product out, showing it a little bit more. You can do things that show size. You can do just single shots to show the features and benefits of your product. The one I always like is a lifestyle image. How's this going to change your life? The picture that's going to change your life. So these are one type of picture that you can do. We move it a little more towards e-commerce. So we're kind of go a little bit more with the GS1, which is your global standard. These usually come in on the right-hand side, you can see they normally come in a 4 picture. So they actually, they want to show you the product. Like in this case, it looks like chicken breast. So it's like a raw. They want to show you what that product is going to look like. You can see it. They want to see how it's packaged. I know a lot of times when you're selling this to distributors, then you go from your business to your customer, they want to know for storage reasons. Do I have 4 Cryovac packages in there? Do I have 2? Do I have the refrigeration that's going to be able to hold this? People actually look at these pictures to make decisions about what they're going to go buy. And of course, the label's always included because that's going to give you weight. Might not going to give you the size, but it's going to give you your ingredients. It's going to give you your cooking instructions. This has a lot to do with a person's decision when they're purchasing, is the type of picture that they look at.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then, the GS1 standards, I mean, that can be huge. That can be just a big monster to some folks. But really, when you dig into it and you have somebody helping you and partnering with you, it's not as complicated as people may say or may think. Certainly, it's a great thing for the world and the commerce of the world. But having a global standard so everybody can communicate clearly, but it just requires some process so that you can get everything together to make that happen, which we can help with. And the next thing, thank you, Lisa, by the way. And the next thing is a platform. So there's a lot of platforms out there. I can't even begin to cover all the different platforms. This slide just shows a few of them. So, but it's important that we really understand the global nature of the platforms and who or what customer you're trying to attract in your offering and your experience. Huge market, 476 billion by 2025. I mean, it's just growing like crazy. As far as services go, there's Square, PayPal, so you have to have some kind of a payment service. You need to have think about some kind of email service to continue having that dialogue as you grow your customer base. There's a whole bunch of different services, new ones entering every day to make things more efficient, easier, and keep that communication with your customers more fluent and exciting. So that's also part of the strategy. But these elements here, Lisa's going to walk us through these important elements of a commerce website.
Yeah, and again, I keep repeating the same thing. Customer experience is so near and dear to my heart that if you don't have that, your customers everything. So if what we can help you with is creating that customer experience. So on the left, the slide there shows, is your site customer friendly? Do you have security? Is it mobile friendly? What's your website like? How many clicks are actually happening? Are people actually clicking on your website? Are they looking at it? Is it user-friendly? How many sites have you been to that are not user-friendly? How long do you stay there? Not long at all. You don't. And then product reviews are huge. You should always ask for product reviews because this is where you learn more about your customer experience, what they're going through. And it's like the sales cycle. Then it goes back up to the top and you start again. So if you need to make any updates or enhancements or to your site, this is where you're going to find out those answers. When you have good product reviews, it sells your product. It sells it over and over again. On the right hand side, this is a little more of like a higher level behind the scenes. So what we talk about is, how do you actually get people to your site? How do you get them to look at your web page? how do you actually get, people to buy? How do they actually click and go put it in their cart and say, I'm going to take this and I'm going to move on? Payment is huge. People have to feel comfortable about that. So part of our process is to show you how to get through each one of these steps. People have to feel comfortable about their transactions. Is it secure? What are you doing? And then delivery. Wade might even want to jump in about that, delivery and logistics. Delivery, it's how are you actually getting that product to your customers? Is it going across country? Is it going to another country? Is it going down the block? Is it local? What forms or do you have, different carriers taking product for you? And then the last part again is customer service. And again, how do you manage that internally? How are you going to handle if somebody calls in? Who handles customer reviews, customers' complaints, customer returns if they have any, customer enhancements? So it's pretty important about these 5 elements on the back side of it, like how to help to grow your business too.
Yeah, that's great points, and this is really an important slide of what the considerations are as you think about that customer experience and what you build. Those 5 key areas on the right are critical elements of e-commerce, and then on the left it's just that whole shopping experience, and it's a circle where that shopping experience builds other experiences, and that's what makes it really neat and dynamic. So thank you, Lisa. Great job. One of the last slides we're going to talk about today is really that e-planning. So about the product, the sales and marketing, the digitization, how we're going to digitize, and the transformation that's going to occur within your company. So those are the key aspects of your plan, and we are more than willing to help and put that together for you. That's what we do. So we're excited to have you watch this video, and we're excited to work with you on putting that free strategy together, because no matter where you go, you're going to need to have that. And that's an important piece of your business. So just wanted to reiterate that plan is important. How to get it, we already covered, and we're here to help. And really those are the key elements of what we wanted to cover today. Very important. E-commerce, everybody in the future, today, tomorrow, computers are not going away. That experience is going to go into virtual reality, and we're going to be shopping via virtual reality, and that's just right around the corner. And the other thing that we really didn't talk about, but some interesting trends that we're seeing, is the aspect of distributor working with another distributor doing an e-commerce platform for ordering purchase orders. Gone are the days very soon of the ERPs where we're actually placing an order and then we're going to EDI and or API it to another customer. That e-commerce retail aspect will eventually get into that distribution model, and we'll be managing trucks and truckload purchases via the e-commerce platform. So a lot of exciting things in the future. Just wanted to say thank you, and turn it over to Ken for any kind of questions that are popped up by our viewers.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of questions here. Actually, pretty straightforward. Be kind of curious to hear what the answers are myself. How complicated is making this leap?
Wow, that's a really good question. I think that's the fundamental purpose of this webinar. Really, is to share that it can seem very complicated, but as Lisa said many times, it's all about process. If you have the right process, you can decompose the complication and make it less complicated. So my answer to that is it's not that complicated, and sure, there's a spectrum of getting onto e-commerce, and you're already on and you need to clean up stuff, or you want to reevaluate your e-commerce and move it to the next level. All those things are certainly doable, and people do it all the time. So it's not that complicated. We can help, and we can share how to do it for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I do have one other question here. Again, like I said, pretty straightforward, but always a good question is, when is the best time to start?
Wow. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say the best time to start is now. You know, it's never a good time when you're starting a new process. You always think about it. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I wait for this? Don't wait, start, ask your questions. What I have found is when people hesitate, it's because they have questions. And that's one of the reasons we talk about give us a call. Let us have that free conversation with you about the process that you would go through, the things that you need to have, because if the longer you wait, the less time it is that you're going to sell and get in the game. So I'm going to say time is now. Do it, take the leap, do not wait.
Yeah, Lisa, that's a great answer. And I would add that people always think, well, the technology is always
Tomorrow.
changing,
Yeah.
right? It's always changing. When's the right time? And the technology is always going to change. So absolutely agree with you 100%, Lisa. Great answer.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
thank you. Ken, do you have any more questions for us?
no, that looks like that's about it. Definitely like to thank both of you, Lisa, Wade. Awesome. That was
Thank you for having us.
a
Thank
lot
you
of
Yeah,
great
very
thank you.
much.
information. Again, there's a lot more coming, as you both talked about. There's so much more on the horizon. So with that, that concludes our webinar for today. Before we end, I'd like to again thank our sponsor, Link Supply Chains, for making this webinar today complimentary for everyone to attend. Thank you all for being here and attending. Have a great weekend.